Scene of the crime. I was on the way home from work in 21 when I was told I was sick. You could find the seat of the bus. It's probably still warm. I stood in the suburb of my 4th flat when I told my mum we finally had a diagnosis. It was on the phone. She let me cry for most of it. I spent most of my 22nd year staring at donated art in waiting rooms. My feet got good at tapping. And the year before that, bent over toilet bowls, thinking my gut was trying to spit the mess out of me. I was crying at a sitcom that I used to watch after high school when they called to tell me it had moved to my brain. Season 2, episode 4, the one where the dad dies. This all acts as evidence no one else needs. But I do. Like medical records of every sore sensation. Or else I might wake, warmed and weary, and let myself believe each morning that none of it ever happened. Dumpster fire. My body is a dumpster fire. Not so much one of those tragedies that are so awful people slow on the highway to watch, but more like a small fire in a dumpster. Shells. I decide to collect empty shells on my windowsill, like a small sad museum exhibition on how it feels to live inside something you didn't love. Dressed up. I suppose a skeleton would look beautiful to eyes that had never seen a body fully dressed in itself. Short Death by John Gibbs.
Don't talk about dying at parties. It's like the weather, it's boring, and no one can do much about it. Acme grand piano suspended overhead on pacemaker wire. Wile E. Coyote running half marathons over a series of cliffs, cleverly painted to resemble horizon.
Now you see me. Leaving the room quietly was my newest party trick, and possibly what made me not so much fun at parties. Now you don't. That disappearing act of mine was so swift, so successful, I wonder sometimes whether I was here at all. Chronic Illness, or saying I'm dying in a stupid voice, by John Gibbs.
I'll die from my condition, but everyone dies of something. At least it's interesting. Most of my feelings around chronic illness are universal and kind of petty. If you offered me the chance to be cured, I'd be like, can't you make me a bit less sweaty instead?
Caretaker. Sometimes lessons will come dressed as people, and it looks so good on you, like the yellow of a raincoat on the paled skin of youth. I will do my best to tell you the truth, but it will feel like a woolen sock in my mouth. I feel sometimes as if I've buried myself into this life, like a piece of dinner debris between molars, feet in the air, head in the dirt. It could be quite comfortable when it rained, and I became acquainted with the worms. But the sun seemed to come out when you did, in that yellow, and it's becoming difficult to breathe down here. The kind of thing you'd know. What are the odds of every pair of eyes on Earth blinking at exactly the same moment? What could we all do with that millisecond we are all in the dark? The burning of the old world happened slowly. Thread count. Dress me up, and the immaterial things like birth and death. I have lived with so much, nothing could be more of a comfort. I wonder, is the sheet ghost more beautiful because she lingers, like a piece of loose thread pulling away from